Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We have finally experienced Kurisu's full flashback as Senri Minamisawa, and now we are back to Miyashiro, seeing what he can do with himself back at the apartment. I took a bite out of a simple meal of margarine and toast. There was nothing else. There wasn't the usual meal of crisp lettuce, or juicy tomatoes, or tasty hot dogs, or eggs cooked just the way we liked them. Just plain toast and milk. Yuto was ignoring the toast and watching me carefully. He timidly opened his mouth. I knew exactly what he was going to say before he said it. He'd asked me that many times over the last day. Yuto cut me off before I could finish. I didn't expect them to believe it either, but I wasn't sure if I could tell them the truth. Even if I did, they wouldn't believe it. How could I expect them to believe that she was actually a girl named Senri Minamisawa who'd taken Nono Kurisu's place using something called gigolomaniac powers? It was much better not to tell them the truth. That's right, there was nothing I could do. If the truth wasn't going to make anyone happy, it was better not to tell them. Boy, what a lesson. I wonder if we can appreciate the irony. No secrets. That was just a means to an end. I'd known that, but I still couldn't accept it. As a family, we had nothing strong to bind us together. We were just a group of people living under the same roof. That promise had been a symbol of what bound us a family. That was all. That's why I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to accept that she lied to me. That's right. I was lying to Yuto and Yamazoe. Did I have the right to criticize Nono? To criticize Senri Minamisawa? Did I have the right to live as a family? I stood up and headed for the door. I shut the front door as if to block off his cries. Outside, it looked as if it was about to rain. Of course I hadn't brought an umbrella, and even if I did, I wouldn't feel like using it. What was Kurisu doing? Was she keeping out of the rain? I laughed a little. She was always the one who told me to take an umbrella when I went out. I don't think I went there because I thought Kurisu was there, but maybe, just maybe, a part of me did. I was the one who told her that we weren't family, but maybe I'd come here anyway, because I was seeking some small piece of what we had before. Kurisu wasn't here, but there were still signs of her warmth. Her room hadn't changed a bit since the first time I'd come to the dorm. There were just a few more things in it. Kurisu never spent any money on herself. Of course, part of the reason was that we didn't have any money, but even when we did, she would use it on me, Yui, Yuto, or Dad. Lately, I told her to get herself some nice jewelry or something, and she said she didn't need it.
あなた友達いないでしょ。そういう考え方してたら友達なんてできないわよ。
大きなお世話だ。僕は別に友達なんて。
それから慣れ慣れしいじゃなくて親しくよ。私たちは今日から家族なの。だから親しくして当然でしょ。タクル？
なんでさっきからずっと見てるんだよ。そこで黙って見てるくらいなら手伝ってくれてもいいだろ。それとも楽しいのか。着替えすら一人でできないのを見てて笑ってるんだろ。落とした服も拾えなくておかしいんだろ。くそ、僕だってあんなことが起きる前にはこれくらい普通にできたんだよ。それなのになんでできないんだよ。なんでだよ。
気は済んだ。私だって手伝ってあげたい。だけど父さんも言ってたでしょ。日常のことから少しずつできるようにならなきゃって。今は辛いだろうけど、今頑張ることがきっと未来のあなたにつながるわ。だからね、もう一回やろう。
でも
大丈夫、私がずっとついててあげるから。ちゃんとお箸使えるようになったじゃない。
分かったから話せって。喉に詰まっちゃうだろ。
ああ、ごめん。でも嬉しくて。
たかが自力でご飯食べたくらいで大げさなんだよ、ののは。
大げさなんかじゃない。だって私知ってるもの。あなたがこれまでどれだけリハビリ頑張ってきたか。おめでとうタクル、よく頑張ったわね。
ほら、お前らちゃんと並べ。
この辺りで大丈夫かな。
おう、ユウトはもうちょっと内側に入れ。
お父さんはこの空いてるスペースに入ってね。
よし、それじゃあ行くぞ。
ちょっと待って。
どうしたタクル？
僕のスマホでもいいかな、1枚。
おう、早くしろ。
ここを押せばタイマーが作動するから。
どこだ？
ねえ、まだ撮らないの？友達との約束に遅れちゃうよ。
ああ、いいよ、僕がやるから。父さんはそっちに。
おう。
取られちゃったね。
たく、ああいう新しい機械はどうもな。
それじゃあ行くぞ。
赤いの点滅し始めたよ。タクル、早く早く。
分かってるって。
ほら、みんな笑え。
チーズ。
We really were a family. We may not have been related by blood, but as long as we were here, no matter what anyone said, we were a family.
いい？私たちの間では隠し事はしないこと。血はつながっていないけど、 私たちは本当の家族以上に家族なんだから。
She used to say that all the time. What had she been thinking when she said those words? Then I saw what looked like a tiny piece of paper under the bed. I reached my hand under and picked it out. It was a picture. There were 2 girls and a boy. The boy was Kawahara. Nono Kurisu was in the middle, smiling. And off to the side was another girl. Her face was scribbled out. It was the girl we'd seen in the lab. It was the girl who'd begged us for help. If every day was like that for her. I couldn't bear to stay in Kurisu's room anymore, so I left. I went outside but stopped when I heard someone below the stairs. I thought it might be Kurisu, but it wasn't.
Miyashiro!
Kawahara saw me, his face tensed up as he approached.
Kawahara-kun. どうしてここ...
He suddenly grabbed me by the collar and slammed me into the wall.
いきなり何よ。どういうことだ。どういう。とぼけるな。クルスがいなくなったってのはどういうことだって聞いてるんだ。
What? How would he know? Did he come by?
どうしてそれを。
Did he randomly stop at the apartment right now?
さっきお前の家に。そんなことはどうだっていい。それよりクルスはどこへ行ったんだ。
He'd probably gone to the apartment and gotten it out of Yuto or Yamazoe. I was worried that he might have scared Yuto, but he pulled tighter on my collar and I couldn't speak.
宮代、お前、この前俺が言ったことを覚えてるよな。今度クルスに何かあったらただじゃおかない。そう言ったよな。忘れたとは言わせねえぞ。
He had said that, but...
川原君には関係ないだろう。なんだと？これは僕たち家族の問題だ。君には関係な。
His fist hit my face several times before I could finish my sentence.
ふざけんな!
I was terrified when I saw how bloodshot his eyes were.
何が家族だ。関係ない。俺に言わせりゃ関係ないのはお前の方だ。
This time he kicked me and I fell backward into a puddle of water. Another sharp kick landed as I tried to stagger back to my feet. It hit me in the solar plexus and knocked all the air out of my lungs.
お前なんかより、お前よりも、俺の方がクリスとの時間はずっと長いんだよ。それを後から来て、気を引くような真似しやがって。お前みたいなやつと家族、笑わせんな。クリスはな、同情でしょうがなしにお前のことを弟だって言ってただけなんだよ。それを調子に乗りやがって。何が関係ないだ。
His fist cut through the air and smashed into my cheek. I smelled something strange in the back of my nose as the flesh from my cheek dug into my face. Damn it. I didn't care if he was hitting me. No. I was the cause of the return of the new generation madness, and I'd hurt Kurisu, Minamisawa, in a fit of rage. Maybe I deserved it. But it pissed me off that I couldn't fight back.
何がおかしい。別に。ただ、 ただ、なんだよ。言えよ。
Just like I thought, the slightest provocation set him off. It was just a sign of his stupidity.
ほら、どうした？言わないならまた。
わかった。そこまで聞きたいなら教えてやるよ。
Each time I spoke, I tasted something metallic in my mouth, but I kept speaking anyway.
クルスはな、お前のことなんてなんとも思っちゃいない。
何？
いや、むしろ嫌いなんじゃないか。
なんだよそれ。クルスがそう言ってたのか？
いや、でもバカ。
んだよそれ。根拠もないくせに嘘ばっか言いやがって。仕返しのつもりかよ。
My chest, my sides, my back.
根拠ならある。
ああ、だったら言ってみろよ。
It must have bothered him because once I started to talk, he stopped hitting me. He was a small man.
お前は南沢千里のこと嫌ってただろ。
南沢？当たり前だろ。あんな気持ち悪いやつ誰だって嫌がる。それがどうした？
それも全部あいつには分かってた。そんなやつにあいつが心を許すわけないだろう。お情けで付き合ってもらってたのはお前の方だよ。
てめえ！誰がお情けだよ。適当なこと言いやがって。
At this point, I was basically a punching bag. It felt like burning irons were being pressed all over my body. My sense of balance was thrown off and the pain kept me from thinking. Everything stopped seeming real. I started losing the ability to think clearly. Maybe it would be better if I just... Kawahara spat on my cheek, but the rain washed it away.
なんだよ。もう終わりか。
I forced myself to stand through the pain.
こいつまだ。
どうした？僕はまだ生きてる。そう、どうせなら殺してくれよ。
何？
ほら、僕が憎いんだろ。ムカつくんだろ。だったら殺せばいいじゃないか。ほら、僕は抵抗なんてしない。
That's right. This was all my fault. What happened with Serica, what happened with the murders.
殺せよ。ほら、やってみろよ。
And what happened with Kurisu. So...
殺してくれよ。
なんなんだよ、いきなり。どうかしてるよ、お前。
A strange, nervous smile formed on his face as I approached him, and then he turned around and fled into the pouring rain. After I couldn't see him anymore, I fell to my knees on the ground. I spit up a hunk of blood, and then let the rain fall down from the dull gray sky.
どうして。
Why didn't he kill me? I never should have been alive at all. Then this never would have happened. Yui and Dad would still be alive. Serica wouldn't have hurt anyone. And she would have been able to start her new life as Nono Kurisu. If it weren't for me.
わかった。
あなたのその望み叶えてあげる。
Are you freaking serious? I felt something freezing cold and sharp at my neck. I didn't have to turn around to see who it was.
尾上。
タク、
Onoe was behind me, smiling happily as she put the blade up to my neck.
やっと言ってくれたね。タクの本当の望み。
尾上。いつからそこに。
ずっといたよ。私はタクと一緒だもん。子供の頃からそうだったでしょ。いつだってずっと一緒。ずーっとタクのそばにいて、タクがどうしてほしいのかを知る。そのためだけに生まれてきたんだもん。
Oh, so that was it. I finally understood who Serika Onoe really was. She was truly a part of me.
尾上。僕は。
大丈夫だよ。何も言わなくても私には分かってる。
Slowly, her blade moved just an inch. I could feel a warm drop of liquid running down my neck.
それじゃあ行くね。
This is for the best. Just in time for Kurisu to show up, because this is her branch. This is... I slowly closed my eyes.
さよなら、タク。
The air shook a little. And there was the sound of something cutting through it. Aha! Without even feeling pain, Cold drops of rain were hitting my neck.
お前。
I opened my eyes and saw... What? Oh, no way!
南沢。千里。
I never expected that. No. It was...
タクル。
ノノ。
クルスノノ、いや南沢千里。
お前どうしてそれにその姿を。
もう偽るのはやめたの。これが私の南沢千里の本当の姿。もしもこれで全てを失うことになったとしても、もう嘘はつきたくないから。家族に隠し事はしたくないから。だからたとえこの姿であなたに嫌われたとしても、私は本当の私でいることに決めたの。
Nono stood in front of me with a D sword in her hand.
南沢千里、今さら何をしに来た。
あなたなら聞かなくても分かってるんでしょ。あなたの手からタクルを守りによ。
その醜く無様な姿で。
そうよ。これが偽らざる私の姿だから。
そうか、面白い。でも邪魔をするな。お前の出番はもう終わった。
Nono flinched back in fear as the blade sliced through the raindrops. Her expression twisted in pain. It was only then that I saw the blood on the cut on her shoulder.
まだその名前で呼んでくれるんだ。
そんなことより肩。
さっきちょっとかすっちゃったみたい。 でもこのくらい。
何が邪魔をするなと言っているこの偽物が。
私はもうクルス殿の偽物なんかじゃない。私は南沢千里、本物の南沢千里よ。
It was a type of resolve. You could call it determination. The determination to abandon the life she'd lived for years and be reborn anew.
そんなことどっちだっていい。私は宮代拓の望みを叶えてあげるだけだから。お前は邪魔なんだよ。
拓の望み。
そうだ、宮代拓は自分なんていなければいいと思った。消してくれと思った。だから私がその望みを叶えてやる。なぜならそれが私、尾上セリカの存在する理由だから。だからそこをどけ。
そんなのダメよ。私が許さない。
Serika's sword was designed to attack, but Nono's D-sword was heavy, and as hurt as she was, it seemed hard for her to use. Nono wasn't Nono anymore anyway. She was Senri Minamisawa. She was feeling the pain from all the terrible experiments she'd suffered over the years. Serika's attack slowly started to push Nono back.
邪魔をするな。
タクルは私の弟よ。あなたに殺させなんかしない。
Nono.
そんなの。お前こそ家族を壊した元凶だろうが。
それでも私は。
どけ
The blade shook like thunder. A swirl of wind appeared around Serika's feet.
どけって言ってるんだよ。
The fierce blow knocked Nono to her knees. Her tiny thin neck was defenseless and exposed.
死ねよお前。
A cold voice and a white flash. Oh?
尾上。
I pointed the weapon I'd pulled from the Sea of Chaos, feeling its heft in my hand.
タク、どうして。死にたいって言ったのはタクだよ。
ああ、言った。
じゃあどうしてその女をかばうの。そいつはタクを騙してたんだよ。
ああ、そうだな。
だったら。
でも。
Maybe it wouldn't be that easy to forgive her for lying to me. But everything she'd done for us, she'd done as a part of our family. Not as Nono Kurisu or Senri Minamisawa. She'd given us her love. And it was real love. It probably didn't matter what her name was or where she was born or what she looked like. What I really wanted, it was to once more.
そうか。それが宮代拓の望み。だったら。
Serika looked up and smiled, then readied her weapon.
その望みごと葬ってやる。
What? Wait. The D-sword became a hurricane of light as she attacked me. Maybe it depends what branch we're on, but I didn't think Serika was literally physically capable of this. I thought she was incapable of killing us without our consent. It was one thing to say it, but I was still feeling the pain from where Kawahara had hit me, and just knocking back Serika's attacks was enough to make my body scream.
どうした。 偉そうなこと言ってその程度か。
Shining beams collided, scattering rainbows everywhere. Sword and sword collided like two magnets drawn to each other. My lungs hurt like they were on fire. Serica found a hole in my defenses and attacked. Her D-sword knocked mine upward and threw me off balance. The glowing weapon went straight for my exposed neck. I put my hand out to protect my throat. That's not gonna work, buddy. The inside of my left wrist was torn open. I felt the heat before I felt the pain. The warm rain fell down and spread the blood into a puddle at my feet. I bit down on my teeth hard to keep from passing out, then tried to judge the distance between us again. The fierce blade struck again. I just barely managed to move out of the way in time. At this rate, she would kill me. Like Serica said, if I didn't attack her, this was only going to end one way. But the pain, exhaustion, rain, and sweat were already blurring my vision. My strength was at its limits. If I could just land one hit. One hit! I blocked her attack with the blade of my sword and threw her off balance just a little. The air of self-satisfaction vanished from her face and was replaced by fear. I didn't miss my chance. What I wanted was... It wasn't destruction. It was a future with Minamisawa. That's right. That was my choice. I put all of my strength and all of my wishes into a single swing of the blade. Serica raised her weapon right in front of me. A bluff? Was it a trap? No! She is a mind reader. If she countered now, there was no way I could... I saw her smile. And then... she fell to the ground. What? Did Nono get her from behind when I wasn't looking? I could still feel the sensation in my hands. Red blood spread silently on the asphalt. Impossible! Serica knew exactly what I was going to do. If she wanted to kill me, she could have. So why? She asked that at the end of the other branch, but, like... did we kill her, or did she just drop? Serica smiled at her faintly. I'm still not buying it.
触らせて。それができるのはタクだけだから。タクル。
Just like she asked, I took the D sword and pointed it at her body. But
どうしたの？
できない。僕にはそんなこと。
しょうがないな、タクは。
she smiled happily and grabbed the blade with a shaking hand. And then
バイバイ、タク。
the D sword went through her body without a sound.
おの。
The girl I'd created, the girl who was always there for me, was surrounded by a cocoon of light, which vanished into thin air. The veil of rain that had covered the sky had vanished, leaving behind a stench on the asphalt. I looked up at the sky and saw a rainbow in the heavens. I could hear the crunching sound of footsteps on gravel, going further into the distance.
ノノ。
見ないで。
I was about to turn back but stopped when I heard the rejection in her voice.
ごめんね、タクル。もう二度とあなたの前に姿を現したりしないから。
Oh, come on.
でもね、これだけは信じてほしいの。確かに私は嘘をついていたけれど、あなたたちのことを大切な家族だって思ってた。お願いよ、信じてくれる？私はもうクルス・ノノじゃない。
The footsteps started again. Nona was leaving. We would never see her again.
今までありがとう。さようなら。
I turned around and saw a small girl. She was facing away from me. It was the first time I'd seen her, but I'd seen her 1,000 times before.
ノノ。
I ran after her and grabbed her hand and forced her to look at me.
いや、やめて。
どうして？
だって私はノノちゃんじゃない。こんな醜い顔タクルには見せたくない。
I held her close as she squirmed and tried to look away.
ごめん。僕。
タクル。
僕は間違ってた。お前がクルスノノか南沢千里かなんて関係なかった。どうだってよかったんだ。
Senri looked up at me in surprise, and for the first time I could see her face. It was different than Nono's. It didn't have her bright charm or her bold features, but
だってお前が僕の家族で僕にとって大事な人だってことには何も変わりはないんだから。
タク。
tears fell from Senri's eyes. Memories came flooding back to me.
そうだよ。いつも僕を見てくれていたのはこの瞳だったんだ。動けない僕を献身的に看病してくれたのも、辛く苦しいリハビリに時には励まし、時には叱咤してくれたのも、僕のしでかすバカなことに本気で怒って本気で笑って、そして本気で泣いてくれたのも、いつだってそばで見守ってくれていたのはこの瞳だ。いつだって差し伸べてくれたのはこの小さな手だった。全部お前だった。 確かにお前は嘘をついてた。クルス・ノノじゃなかったかもしれない。けど僕を絶望の闇から救ってくれたのは本物のクルス・ノノじゃない。南沢千里、お前だった。
That was the truth. So,
私を許してくれるの？
I nodded silently.
クルス・ノノじゃなくても？
言っただろ。お前が僕の恩人で家族だってことは変わらない。
I held her tight, so that she would never go anywhere again. And I
千里、
I said her name. Her real name.
何？
おかえり。
ただいま。
Humans are temporal beings. I think it was a philosopher named Heidegger who said that. A German philosopher born in 1889 and died in 1976. A critic of metaphysics who used phenomenology to support his theory of ontology. He defined time as past, present, and future, which are three equal, continuous, and infinite things. His theory says that the present is the principal axis upon which the past and future are decided, and time is created. Time moves from the past to the future, and time is what rules over human lives. In that process, the past is lost and new things are born. The return of the new generation madness gradually began to fade from people's memories. The girl named Sarah Galnaway, who was a person of interest in the case, vanished, and without any firm evidence it was impossible to know if she ever existed at all. The case came to an end without a satisfactory answer. And then... the four of us still lived in that cheap apartment.
ほらユウト、早く準備しないと遅れるわよ。
ちょっと待ってよ。この番組終わったらやるから。
そうやってテレビばっかり見て、ウキちゃんはもう準備できてるって。
行ってきます。待って、僕も行くよ。
いってらっしゃい。
行ってきまーす。
Mornings were always busy like this.
たく、あんまりうるさくしてると。
The pounding on the wall was another thing we'd gotten used to.
また後でうるさく言われるな。
しょうがないわね。また夜にクッキーでも焼いてお裾分けしとくわ。
頼むよ。どうした？
まさかこんな日が来るとは思ってなかったな。
Nono Kurisu becoming Senrimi Namisawa had created no end of problems. Of course, Yuto and Yamazoe weren't sure how to handle it all. Her name and appearance were totally different. I knew it would be impossible for them to think of her as the same person. But inside, she was the same. She'd gone back to looking like Senrimi Namisawa, sure. But she was still Nono Kurisu, the cheerful, helpful girl who'd kept the household running. After a few days of living with her, both of them got used to the idea that Senrimi Namisawa was their sister. Of course they were family. We couldn't exactly tell everyone else that Nono Kurisu was actually another girl all along. So it ended up that Kurisu went to live with some very distant relatives, just as a new transfer student named Senrimi Namisawa came to the school. It was hard for her to rebuild her relationships with her old pals from the ground up, but she'd pulled it off. Of course, a few of them.
チャオス、宮代先輩、クルス。有村さん。じゃなかった。南沢先輩。
お前な、いい加減慣れてくれよ。
んなこと言ったって、そう簡単に行くもんじゃないですよ。ねえ、花。
We told the people who knew about the case the real story.
つうかさ、3年なんだし、今さら無理して学校来なくてもよかったんじゃねえの？
僕もそう言ったんだけどな。
Wow, it looks like Ito recovered.
あのままみんなと別れてしまうのは寂しいじゃない？
そんなもんかね。
I never would have taken a risk like that just to see the people in my class. But maybe that was just a sign of how she changed.
で、今日の部活は？
悪い。今日はちょっと行くところがあって。
行くところ？
ええ。なに先輩方2人で？もしかして無夫婦な感じ？違うわよ。そういうんじゃなくて。
わかってますよ。まあたとえそうだとしても一つ屋根の下に暮らしてるんだから今さらって感じだし。
たく。
それよりタクル、そろそろ。
ああ、そうだな。
We said goodbye to everyone and left. The sky was the same color it had been after the rain stopped on that day. We headed for...
ののちゃん。
It was a grave, far away from Shibuya in the suburbs. The body that had been originally buried as Senri Minamisawa had now been quietly interned in the Kurisu family grave as Nono Kurisu. Nono Kurisu. She was a girl I knew well, but one I'd never actually met. Senri put her hands together in a silent prayer as she faced the cold grave. There was so much she hadn't been able to say, so much that she wanted to say. Nono Kurisu and Senri Minamisawa were finally talking to each other as different people now. The sin of using her. The sin of burying her. The sin of lying. The guilt from those sins would never go away, but still...
ごめんね、ののちゃん。これからたくさん辛いこと、悲しいこともあるかもしれないけど、それでも私はもう逃げたりなんてせず、立ち向かっていこうと思う。南沢千里として。それが私にできるあなたへの手向けだと思うから。
The smoke from the incense rose towards the sky, blown about by the wind. And in the wind...
頑張って、千里ちゃん。
I thought I heard a voice. Everything that had happened so far was a mix of plots, misunderstandings, missed communications, and successful efforts. So whenever I wanted to cry at what I'd become...
タクル。
ん？
これからも私のこと見守ってくれる？
I take the hand of the girl next to me, feel her warmth, and walk with her together, just like she'd done for me, for the sake of tomorrow, and for the future. I cannot believe that that was a straight up good ending. I can't believe it.
ねえ、タク、楽しかった？
I think she was asking if that was fun. Tamashi is fun, right? I think she was asking if that was fun. Real sky end. And as shocking as this sounds, this is not the true ending path, even though it's called real. I have to beat all the branching paths to unlock the true ending path. So this was just an alternate. But it was just a straight up good ending. I can't believe it. Now the fact that Sarika was talking does bring me back a little bit. Because when we killed her, I could not believe it. I was starting to think, could it be that this entire game, every single path, was orchestrated by Sarika in alternate paths? So even though all these horrible things happened because of her, is she going to arrange the true ending where we know all of the secrets of everybody and we can make it a happy ending after all? So she brought us through some bad times before the good? But then we killed her. I was like, wait a minute. But she talked at the end of this path, though. We actually had a good ending with Kurisu. I can't believe it. Does that mean that this other path on the left is going to be good? Because Another, Dream, and Dark were dark. Real Sky was it was good. And it's got a picture of Nona rather than Senri, but alright, fair enough. And over Sky End is the normal one, which was... Whoa! But it looks like we have one more. There's one more branching path, and I'm gonna go for it. But for now, it is time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We completed Kurisu's path, or Senri Minamisawa's. And I guess that's why it's called Heads or Tails, because the two people are the same person. They're two sides of the same coin. Incredible. And we didn't end in misery. We had 2 branching paths that ended in misery. 3, excuse me. We had 3 branching paths that ended in misery, and the normal path sure as hell ended in misery. You could forgive me for expecting the same, right? But this was as positive as we've gotten. I can't believe it. But this also gets me nervous, because now I have hope for the next branching path. Oh, maybe this will go positive, and I'll just have my hopes crushed. Who knows? We're gonna find out one way or another. Until next time, everyone.